Hello, seventh graders. We are going to kick it off today with some silent reading time. So grab your book, and today while you're reading, pay attention to how the author is keeping you interested. Is there anything that's kind of suspenseful that's happening that your author does? All right, so go enjoy your books, and I'll see you back in about 10 minutes. All right. Well, sailors, today we're going to be talking about suspense. And I wanted to start off by just kind of looking at this image. So, if you study this image and really look at it, look at the tree in the ground and the blackness in the forest. Just take a minute and share out in your crew, how does that really make you feel? And does it make you wonder about anything? Like, do you wonder what sounds you would hear? Do you wonder what's lurking in the darkness? So just take a couple of minutes and share out, how does it make you feel and what does it make you wonder? All right. So if you're looking right down below, it might be kind of hard to see, but it asks today, like, how do authors create suspense? So we're going to be looking at that through an article called The Nothing. So right now, I'm going to ask that you guys go to Google Classroom. When you get to Google Classroom, I want you to find, underneath Mood and Stories Writing, I want you to find the article called The Nothing. Click on it. You'll open this up. And then you have to go to the article called The Nothing by Kristen Lewis. The passcode to get on is Sailor Crew. So I'll give you just a minute to go do that. Teachers, go ahead and pause. All right, today we're going to hear the story called The Nothing, and I'm actually going to be playing to you the recording of Kristen Lewis, the actual author, reading her story aloud. I'm going to ask that you follow along while she reads the text aloud. When you're done, and it's a very short story, when you're done, you need to complete questions 1 through 5 and then turn it in. As you look through each one, we're looking at suspense and mood and adjectives and things that really help to bring the story to life. So let's get started with The Nothing. Okay, we're taking a look right here, The Nothing. It says, whatever you do, don't look behind you. And the spotlight is on mood here and really paying attention to it, and take a look at the images around that kind of help you to set that mood or tone. All right, and remember you've got the tools here to zoom in and out. So go ahead and follow along while she reads.
The Nothing. I'm going to read it to you now. Are you ready? Here we go. The Nothing. Whatever you do, don't look behind you. It was one of those days when the sky is dark and bright at the same time. When the trucks careening down the highway behind my house don't seem to make a sound. When it's 85 degrees, but people are wearing sweaters. I was walking into the forest, a chewed up tangle of a place on the other side of the highway. The trees are scraggly there, the soil dusty. Even the birds are glum. About a mile in, though, the forest starts to change. It gets greener and denser and wilder. Most people don't come here because from the road it doesn't look like much. But that's the thing, isn't it? People don't take time to look at things deeply, to search out the hidden places, the places that might be just around the corner. I was glad of that, though, because deep in the forest, I could be alone, and also not alone. There was a tree, a strange and beautiful tree that had the circumference of a dinner table and foliage so thick I was always in its shade, no matter where the sun was in the sky. When I sat against the trunk, doing my homework, or just closing my eyes and listening to the wind, it felt as though the tree wanted to tell me something. And on that day, it did. When I got to the tree and dropped my backpack on the ground, I noticed something different. A hole in the trunk, about eye level and the size of a basketball, cut cleanly and cruelly. I peered inside and saw only darkness, the kind that could stretch for 1 inch or 100 miles. It was cold inside the hole and smelled weird, like rotten eggs. Stepping back, I noticed it was as though the tree had a face, and that face was caught in a scream. heard it. A shriek. I looked around, trying to find where the hideous sound was coming from. Then I heard a low, scratchy voice coming from the hole in the trunk. Run. What? I whispered, leaning in. Something is coming. Something terrible. What? I whispered again. Cautiously, I placed my hand on the bark. It was suddenly burning hot. I jumped back. Behind you! I whirled around to see that nothing was there. I mean, nothing. No trees, no dirt, no birds, no sky. It was an endless wall of blankness, as if a giant eraser had been taken to the world. And this nothingness was moving straight toward me. Run, 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 run! The tree was screaming now, repeating run over and over. I took off, my legs pounding the dirt. Suddenly, I realized I'd left my backpack behind. Run, run, run! I looked back, but run, run, run! The nothingness swallowed up the tree. I ran out of the forest and under the highway and all the way home. When I opened my front door, I was breathless and dazed, as if I had just awoken from a dream. Hi, sweetie, my mom called cheerfully from the dining room. When I didn't reply, she popped her head through the doorway. Where have you been? There's something horrible. Sweetheart, it's okay. I know. You know? She walked over to me and gave me a quick squeeze. I know you forgot your backpack somewhere. It was sitting on the front porch when I got home. Some kind person must have dropped it off for you. What? It's right there, on the kitchen table. I turned, and there it was, not a speck of dirt on it. Without thinking, I walked over to it and opened the front pocket. Inside was a piece of bark, and etched into the bark, 2 words. Behind you.
All right, now that you have heard the nothing, you're going to complete the work right here. You have 5 questions to answer. At any point in time, you can go back and look at the text to help you. You can even reread the story. It's completely doable. It's very short. So take a look. Number 1 is about sensory detail. It says writers use sensory details to help readers engage in their story, to really show, not tell. Readers feel as if they can hear and touch and taste and feel and smell whatever's going on in the text. So use the nothing to list some sensory details that help really paint that picture. So put right here something that you hear and something that you smell from the text. Number 2, describe the setting. Describe that forest and make sure you're using some details that show that it's kind of an eerie, mysterious, creepy kind of a mood going on. So you'll get that from the text. Number 3 is personification. It's when you give human qualities to objects. So you're going to find an example of this from the story and type it in here word for word right here. Then explain how that actually helps contribute to the mood of the story. Number 4, the writer uses several short sentences in her story. What effect does it have when we're looking at these short sentences right here? No trees, no dirt, no birds, no sky. What effect does that have on the reader? And then finally, number 5, 3 words or phrases from the story that help to create that fearful mood. So you're going to go back into the story. You're going to look for words or phrases in the story that help to set that fearful or eerie or creepy type of mood. When you're all done with those questions, go ahead and turn it in. Have a great day, sailors.